Episode 3, Kalighor. I looked at Amrit, surprised. Is it time to go? Why did you come personally? I tried to collect myself as quickly as possible so as not to look confused and pathetic. But Amrit didn't answer, staring at me intently. He then said slowly, Amala, give me your hand. I frowned, but held out my open palm to him. Not this hand, the other one. A wave of fear swept over me. I was clutching his family ring in my other hand. Why? Aren't we in a hurry? I said give me your hand. Amrit took me by the wrist and pulled me towards him. I opened my fingers and he saw his gold ring there. He didn't say a word, but stared daggers at me. As soon as the heirloom was returned to its owner, he started teasing me. Stealing from me is becoming a bad habit of yours. Now I understand why you were so scared. You put it on. I did. What was that? What happened to me? You experienced a transpersonal state. The ring serves as a link that lets me move to a different energy level and see our goddess. The impulses that permeated you, the growing heat, all that was a flow of energy that can be used to summon the Dark Mother. Do you wear it during rituals? You are a priest for the worship of Kali, right? That should be obvious after what happened in the temple. Then I guessed it long before then. I wear this ring during rituals. That's why I say that during religious practices, I'm almost always not myself. The pain makes me feel insane, angry. At some point I become one with Mahadevi and act at her behest and speak through her mouth. I sighed heavily. With the ring, you found out that Amrit binds himself to Kali and loses himself. This will affect the plot. So you go crazy when you do your thing? Yes, but it's my choice. I am the one who puts on the ring and bows to the Dark Mother. That's what everyone in my family did before me. Then I don't even know how to justify you. It's all incredibly cruel. Justify me? Why would you want to, Amala? This is our highest honor that only the Dubes and the Basus can be granted. I'm proud that I can do this, that I can perform my duty and do something good. Do you seriously think killing and sacrificing people is good? Yes. Be patient, my dear, and I'll explain everything to you. Amrit ran his hand through my hair, as if trying to fix it. Then he smiled. I promise you'll like it. I doubt that. Let me prove you're wrong. Up to this moment, we've kept many things from you, and we manipulated you. But from now on, everything will be different. I opened the door to the hallway where one of his maids was waiting. Help her change. Yes, master. Change? You have to look your best. Is this necessary? I'm quite comfortable with what I am wearing. Yes, it is. Of course, you always look beautiful to me. I particularly liked you that day in the temple. Do you mean my outfit? The one I was wearing when we got into the temple? Oh no, I meant later, when you were no longer wearing anything. Seriously? Why don't you also recreate your temple to look for the occasion? I'm sure many people wouldn't mind. I'm definitely not going to this meeting naked. Good, so change into what I've brought you. He left the room, and Madhu helped me change clothing and comb my hair. You look familiar. Have we met before? Master told me not to talk to you. And I am telling you to talk to him. Do you know who I am? Of course, miss. In that case, answer me and I won't tell him. He'll know anyway, miss. Again, you know who I am, right? He and I are equals. I have the right to know everything he does. Maid hesitated, starting to comb my hair. All right. We met at the hotel. I was the maid there. I was asked about the missing man. That rings a bell. How did you end up working for Dubé? I was working for him from the very beginning, miss. Ah, I see. I was fired shortly before your arrival, so I started working at the hotel instead. Then Mr. Vaish came to see me. I was very surprised. He said I could get my job back if I did him a favor. Words made my blood boil. I knew where this was going. And what was the favor? To keep my mouth shut when the British diplomats arrived. That means us. Yes, no one had told me who you really were. It's a great joy for us that a Basu has rejoined us. I believe that prosperity and well-being await us. Okay, stop it. Not a day goes by without me realizing that someone, somewhere, has been lying to me. Matu took out the clothing. We have expensive outfit, magnificent outfit, nice outfit. I don't know. It's tough. I think I'll go with the magnificent outfit. I like the deep colors. I've never seen anything more beautiful. Master ordered for the most expensive outfit to be brought here. Beautiful clothes called for matching hairstyle. Bejeweled hairstyle. Noble hairstyle. Light hairstyle. Well, you already know what I'm gonna pick. Or did you? Dun, dun, dun. So shiny. And they go perfectly with your complexion. I have something else. She took out a jewelry box. Topaz earrings, lavender sapphire earrings, spinal earrings. Lavender. These sapphires are mined in the mountains of India. They will emphasize your status. Thank you. As soon as we finished, 3 people were waiting for us behind the door. Priyanka, Amrit, and Kiran. All eyes were suddenly on me. Oh, what a beauty. I feel so proud when I look at you. Kiran, you need to change too. You can't go wearing that. Go where? He's not going anywhere. He is. We have already agreed. What? Have you two been introduced? My brother shrugged his shoulders. There was a terrible commotion when Mr. Dubé arrived. I came out and, well, he threw a wary glance at Amrit. It was about time we met, don't you think? Yes, but my sister put it off as long as she could. Amrit, there's no one's business but ours. He's not going anywhere. Do you think that's a wise choice? It might prove a valuable experience for him, too. After all, he is no ordinary child. I shrugged my shoulders and replied thoughtfully. I have to admit it. What you say makes sense. Karen is quite reluctant when it comes to our country's culture. There's nothing wrong with letting him learn more about it. I share the same opinion. Besides, as a representative of your family, he'll be given the warmest welcome. Everyone wants to meet you and take a look at you. Fine. But you better make sure I won't regret it. You won't like me when I'm angry. Brilliant. But, just so you know, Kier, no one goes talking to you in English there. I understand some Bengali, so don't nag me. Let's go find you a nice outfit. Priyanka and Karen left, and we went downstairs to wait for them. We found ourselves alone in the living room. Amrit didn't miss a chance to wrap his arm around my waist and pull me against him. I got you now. Hold your horses. If Miss Kahan sees us, she might die of happiness. I'd rather you were that happy, not her. Happy about what? That I've managed to catch such an alpha male in my net? You're the one in my net, not the other way around. I wriggled out of his arms. Speaking of which, this is just a meeting. I don't want to see tricks like those you pulled on the temple. Am I making myself clear? Kieran doesn't need to see that. You didn't like it? What a shame. How did you do that, by the way? How did you summon those creatures? They don't need to be summoned. They're always there, like you. I can just interact with energy on a different level. As one can dip their hands into water, I do so into space. I simply forced those weak-willed creatures to obey me. Weak-willed? They are just empty puppets with no master, no freedom. You can command them too, if you want. How? That's a conversation for another time. Brynk and Kieran came downstairs. I looked at my brother. Like a true Basu, as usual. Like a local. I guess we'll go with Basu. Wow, that makes you look handsome. And rich, judging by the quality of this fabric. Finally, we were ready to go. Amrit's car was waiting for us in front of the house. Shekhar was behind the wheel and Madhu sat next to him. Priyanka came to the door to see us off and started telling Kieran something about manners and traditions, but he clearly wasn't listening to her instructions as he was too happy and excited. It was late afternoon when we arrived at Dubé's estate. Amrit ordered Madhu to help us get settled, and the maid immediately set out to do just that. When Dubé left, Madhu approached us. Master told me to prepare bedrooms for you in case the meeting runs long. Does he think we're going to spend the night here? They usually finish after midnight. Shekhar might be busy or already asleep by then. Master Toll won't allow you to go back by yourself. Why am I not surprised? Fine. I'll show you to the bedrooms and then I'll take you to the reception hall. Everyone has already arrived. The fun begins. A little later, Kieran and I entered the hall. Amrit and the dozen were already waiting for us there. Choosing a diamond outfit for Amrit will improve your relationship with him. Stylish. A lot of outfits. We'll go with stylish. I like the black. Here comes our guests of honor. I felt many eyes on me, curiously looking me up and down. I saw happiness and awe on their admiring faces, but not only because I was Amala Basu, who they had been waiting for, and for a long time, but also because I looked gorgeous. Amrit knew exactly how to dress me. He accentuated everything he could. He was watching me intently. He clearly liked the way I looked. Meet Amala and Kieran Basu. Finally, they were back to their true home in their native land. A few young girls immediately blushed at the sight of my brother. Jaya, who stood among them, was no exception. Let them get acquainted with everyone, and then we'll talk about why we're gathered here. Everyone liked Kieran's outfit. A maid came up to us and offered us some food and drinks. Don't be shy. Take whatever you want. Some of the dozen were sitting, and some were standing, holding glasses in their hands, chatting about the latest news. I knew that their glasses were filled with something much stronger than lemonade. They really are Shaktas on the left-hand path. Otherwise, they wouldn't be drinking wine with such a satisfied look. Traditional delicacies, wine. Masala chai, nothing. Yeah, go with the chai. I took a cup couple of sips of the warm, aromatic tea. Jai came up to us.
I'm glad you came. Everyone is very interested in meeting you.
Do you know if they're well disposed towards us?
Oh, of course. You probably don't know how influential your family was. Some might hold the mistakes of your ancestors against you, but those are just spiteful people.
What mistakes? Amrit's heavy hand fell on Jaya's small shoulder. Kieran glared at him. Jaya, why don't you introduce Kieran to the other young representatives of the dozen? Lalit and Rishi are standing over there. Go talk to them.
Oh, yes.
As Jaya stepped back, clearly jealous, Kieran gently squeezed her shoulder in the same spot where Amrit had touched her. Come on. They walked towards the others so that Jaya could introduce him to everyone. It's cute. Finally, this day has come. You're here with me where you belong. I'm nervous. They're all looking at me as if they're judging me. They're in no position to judge. Remember where you stand and where they stand. Carry yourself with dignity, pride. Your job is to rule, not to look around, and they're well aware of it. He gently ran his fingers along my neck and down my shoulder. I felt that Amrit was a little tense. He seemed to have read my mind. I'm fine. I'm just excited. About what? About you. About what will happen after this meeting. What makes you think anything will happen? If it won't, why did my words make your heart beat faster? He leaned a little closer to my ear, lowering his voice. You don't have to lie to me. Suddenly, Rattan entered the hall. Everyone present bowed their heads respectfully. They know who he is. He looked at me. Choosing a diamond outfit with Wilfror Rattan will improve your relationship. Oh, Lord. Alright, here we go. New outfit. Unusual outfit. Red outfit. Usual. Black. Black outfit with curls. I'll just go with the new one. And it technically has curls. Rattan nodded to me in greeting and smiled. Calm, stately, he carried himself well. Many people looked at him with barely hidden admiration. They know that he's a deity. He has to behave accordingly. When people seemed to have enough of eating, introducing themselves, and chatting, Amrit stepped into the center of the hall. He commandingly spread his arms wide, looking at everyone present. Dev Das Dubé was standing in the crowd, looking at his son with both intensity and pride in his eyes. Let's start our talks. Before that, I would like to clarify the main points of discussion for Miss Basu, and for young Mr. Basu, of course. I'm pleased to declare this Kalighor meeting open. Kalighor means obsessed with Kali. This is a sect. As Amrit began talking, I listened carefully, vividly imagining every detail. It was as if I was transported back to the days he was talking about. Look, butterflies. It all started many years ago, when the Dubés were a Brahminical family, and the Basus were the Kshatriya ruling family. Together with the Banerjee family and the Swarma family and the others, everyone was working hard to maintain order in our society. We did what we thought was right, took care of our people as well as our gods. I want to start singing Butterfly Up in the Sky, don't at me. But then a foreign power invaded our land. The British started to dictate the rules because they had decided that they held authority over us. This was what united the dozen in the face of the enemy, made us aware of something very important. War, exploitation, catastrophe, godless and corrupt people wrestling for power, using any means possible, even massacre. All this could only mean one thing. Ah. Kalighor was coming. The last stage of the world's existence and the dying breath of humanity. We knew this was going to be followed by destruction, the annihilation of the world and its rebirth. Nothing wrong with the rebirth of this planet. Have you met its people? Some of you test my patience. Knowledge joined power. And the Dubés and the Passus founded the Kalighor, urging the families from the upper chests to act. Our goal is not only to prolong the existence of the world and to appease our Dark Mother, but we also aim to be cleansed, to become one with the divine, be prepared for moksha by stopping the wheel of life. By shedding blood with Kalidasi, we nourish and please the Dark Mother, making her more benevolent and kinder. We also free our native land from the existence of those who are not worthy. We have been hiding, secretly making sacrifices, despite severe punishments. We have been stubbornly weaving our net. From now on, anyone who will dare to oppose us will get caught in it. You've heard the detailed stories, this will affect the plot. When Amrit stopped talking, I started thinking about all the things that happened in the past. They all pointed to what I just heard in one way or another. I had guessed there must be some specific purpose for the sacrifices, but to delay the end of the world? Kalighor, which I had studied at the university, was the final stage of the world's existence. It was written that it was meant to happen soon, but right now, I felt stunned, scared. To calm myself down, I decided to ask for more details. What happens when all the sacrifices are made? Will this end? No. It's a cycle. It will have to be repeated. The next cycle will probably begin when my children will be growing up. How is this sect different from the past? Our ancestors simply served the goddess by making offerings during the right phases of the lunar cycle. We're doing this as offerings before the advent of Kalighor. We know the exact number of victims needed, and we make sure our rituals are correct down to the last detail. How many victims do you need? And why do you number them? And how many sacrifices do you need? 9. You have already sacrificed 6 people, so there are 3 more left. But according to your story, a lot more people were sacrificed in the past. That really didn't answer shit. So the purpose of your sect is saving the world and cleansing our souls in the process? Vomel Dubé joined the conversation. We cannot stop Kalighor from happening, but we can prolong the existence of the world if we serve the goddess well enough. Has Kalighor already started? If so, how long has it been going on? It started yesterday. We'd been waiting for one last omen, and it finally came. So, that's what you meant when you were talking about the dark times and trouble. Was it about Kalighor? Yes. While listening to us, Kieran kept frowning now and then. If he didn't understand something, he turned to Jaya. She calmly explained everything to him, while Rishi threw them jealous glances. When the conversation came to the victims of the sacrifices, my brother seemed to finally get the whole picture. Yep. He then realized where and with whom he was, and why I was so reluctant to get him involved. While I was talking with the older Dubés, the younger people in the room were engaged in their own discussions. In order not to disturb the others, Jaya took Kieran out into the hallway.
So this is what he said. This practice is above morality and the usual values of good and evil. Do you understand that? Kalighor is not a minor event. This is the last stage of the world's existence. Are you being serious right now? You meet up here and discuss the end of the world and a mythical goddess? And do you really kill people because of this?
Does Amala agree with you? It's a good question.
Does she also believe in all of this? Don't you believe that the gods exist? Should I? My diva Rita Shiva himself is right here. And what about Mr. Dubé's power? Rita, who? Mr. Ratan Vaish, the human avatar of Shiva on our Earth. Didn't Amala tell you? I'll talk to her later about it. She clearly kept a lot from me.
Lalit and Risha walked up to them. Lalit was looking at Kieran with interest, while Rishi, on the contrary, stared at him with open hostility. Is your Bengali so rubbish that you have to keep bothering a girl?
He's not bothering me. I'm happy to help Kieran.
So, you like to associate with traitors?
Me, a traitor? You know, it's not my fault. I wasn't even born here.
Rishi, weren't you fervently defending the Basu's role in our hierarchy? Kieran is also a Basu. Not yet. And it's his sister who's in charge of everything, not him. Why are you even getting involved, Lalit? Are you seriously defending him? I'm not a Dubé anymore, but a Swarm. Or Sharma. So you can't tell me when I can and cannot speak. Rules and traditions are very important. That's what Father taught us. I'll take his place in the future, so it's important for me to do everything right. Father's the first who doesn't live by his own rules. Shut up!
What's wrong with Kieran being interested in our language and culture? Nobody taught him.
That's weird. Maybe our new Lady Basu is not so loyal to our culture either.
He's so annoying, spoiled, arrogant. Seems like he never had a proper telling off.
Both diamond choices will increase your respect, but one of them will also improve Kieran and Jaya's relationship. Stand up to Rishi, or defend Jaya, which will probably be the most expensive one, and also serves two purposes.
If you want Jaya's attention so much, you can always pretend to need her help with something too. That's because that's your problem, right?
Lit bursts out laughing, and Rishi quickly turned to her staring daggers. Instead of shying away, she just grinned at him.
Please, let's not do this. Compared to what is being discussed today at the meeting, this is such a trivial matter.
His ignorance is infuriating. Why do I get severely punished if I make the smallest mistake, yet he can get away with anything?
How is it my fault that you get punished? Should everyone around you suffer because you're treated unfairly? You're trying to act all high and mighty, but your reasoning doesn't make sense.
Rishi silently stared at Kieran, lost for words. Lalit realized that her brother was now feeling uncomfortable. She decided to intervene. Come on, Father told me the Dubés and the Basus didn't see eye to eye on some things, so we should all calm down. Jaya liked Kieran's confidence and eloquence.
What do you get punished for? Your father seemed to be such a calm and collected person.
Kieran decided to make an effort to reach out to Rishi, and the young man seemed to respond well to it. Yes, if you don't make him angry and don't disagree with him. Happiest day of my life was the day I got married and joined another family.
I think Mr. Vimal just expects you to be the best in everything because of your responsibility tied to your family name.
It's not just that. Lalit and Rishi fell silent. They seemed to be thinking about the same thing, but Kieran and Jaya didn't know what that might be. Kieran started to earn respect and learning interest in information. Kieran looked at Jaya questioningly, but she couldn't hold his stare and turned away blushing.
Damn, she's really cute.
Meanwhile, I was busy talking to the others. The main part of the meeting where I met everyone was over. People were now divided into small groups chatting between themselves. Vimal, Amrit, Devdas, and Ratan were standing in front of me. Now that you know everything, will you join us, Amala Basu?
We're all these secrets and schemes really needed? You could have told me the truth from the very beginning.
It would have scared you, and would have never come here. I knew many of your relatives, and you all share one quality. You put family above duty. Had you known the truth, you wouldn't be here now. Neither would Kieran Basu.
But it would have been my choice, which you didn't even give me, or give a damn about. You forced my hand. Now it's my turn to come up with my own rules and force you to play by them. I'm very important, aren't I? So much so that you had to pull off the whole stunt with the British government. I could see that Raton remembered what he told me in Thomas Vitali, which I was now using to my own advantage. Thanks, Raton. You know that you're very important to maintain order in Calcutta.
Are you threatening us?
I am just reminding you that you shouldn't underestimate me.
I see you take after your grandmother. Indira could bite your head off if she wanted to. Anyway, think about it.
Devdos looked at his watch, and it was almost midnight.
It's time to conclude this meeting. All went well. So many of us are excited about your return, Amala.
Not knowing where to look, I glanced at Amrit. He was staring at me. Devdos had noticed how much we looked at each other all night long. A smile appeared on his lips.
I'm sure you'll find plenty of reasons to stay in Calcutta.
I'll do anything to convince you to stay. If delaying the end of life, as we all know, it is not enough for you, then I'll find another reason.
We'll take care of wrapping up the meeting. You can go now.
When we moved away from the older men, Amrit turned to me. Let's talk. After you put Kieran to bed, I need you by my side tonight.
I need you too. A lot is still confusing.
Then I'll be waiting for you in the hallway, Amala. After finding Kieran, Matthew and I walked him to his bedroom. Along the way, he asked me at least a million questions. Promising to answer them all the following day, I headed back downstairs. Amrit was waiting for me in the dim light, leaning against the wall. He smiled when he saw me.
Here you are, my Maharini.
Maharina is the wife of a Maharaja, the ruler of an Indian state. You're very mysterious, and very much half-naked.
Anything to please you, Miss Basu. You did great. You are born to rule.
Even so, I was completely stunned. You, the sacrifices.
Don't tell me that you didn't suspect it already.
Yes, but I didn't know what you were fighting for. At the British Embassy, we just thought you were a bunch of bloodthirsty fanatics.
Of course, no brain needed to work there.
You think you're so clever, don't you? Don't worry. I'll get you off your high horse in no time. I already feel sorry for you, Amrit.
Amrit slowly pulled me to him closer, laughing softly. I felt how much he wanted me before I even touched him. He knew I would and didn't try to hide it. His beautiful arms wrapped around my waist, hugging me even more tightly. Without saying a word, I stood on tiptoe and kissed him on the lips. Parting his mouth slightly, immediately deepened the kiss, too hungry to be able to stop and savor the moment. We were like teenagers standing in the dark hallway making out while pressed against the wall. It was all so stupid and careless, but also so deliciously exciting. He ran his fingers over my curves, slowly rising to my chest. Amrit took my hand and pulled me into his bedroom. The dim light cast shadows on the luxurious sheets and pillows. The subtle aroma of expensive incense enveloped me, immersing me in a sensual atmosphere. Long day, huh? When Amrit walked past me, his hands snaked seductively around my waist.
That's an understatement.
You'll get used to everything quickly, I'm sure. You're a strong girl.
I'm not a girl.
Oh, you could have fooled me on multiple occasions.
Don't tease me. I don't know how to keep going. What should I do now?
Stay here with me.
You know what I mean. Now I understand what all those sacrifices and blood were for. I respected it, even just as a manifestation of love for the Dark Mother, but now I know there's something even bigger behind the rituals. It makes me respect you too, and your sect.
I was hoping for that, and that you would be passionate about this and decide to stay.
I've been thinking about it, about all that keeps me here, about what will happen after I sort everything out. It's so complicated.
Amrit, who was standing in front of me, raised his eyebrows. No, you're making it complicated. The answer has been in your head for a long time.
And what's that?
Take your rightful place in our society and stay. With me.
Is that what you want?
You know very well that I do. You're asking me just because you want to hear me say it aloud. Amala admitted you're crazy in love with me.
Stop flattering yourself.
I wanted to step back and turn away, but he quickly caught me, placing a finger underneath my chin. He looked at me, a mischief glint in his eyes, and asked again. Answer me first, yes or no. His face was close. If I wanted, I could reach out and kiss him. Warm breath on my lips made me lose the thread of conversation. He could see that I couldn't think straight, and could sense how my heart was beating faster. Well then, I guess your answer. And I really like it. That was the perfect moment to kiss him. Fine. Impulsively, passionately, forgetting about everything that bothered me at that moment. His smug grin, his knowing gaze, that was the last straw. I'd been looking at him all day and evening, scolding myself for the thoughts and fantasies racing through my mind. And now I could cast away all the restraint, snuggle up to him properly, greedily kiss his lips. His strong fingers gripped the fabric covering my butt, lifting it up. He undressed me quickly, as if he wanted to see me naked and at his mercy as soon as possible. Suddenly I broke away from him and gasped. Wait. Don't rush. That's the last thing I want to hear right now. And I want it slow. I want to see you. With one sultry movement, I took his robe off, then I left a gentle kiss on his neck. Once, twice, 3 times inch by inch, I caressed his smooth, hot skin. He buried his fingers in my hair, and I was clearly testing his patience. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed how much he wanted me, and how his arrogance had vanished, replaced by desire. It was just us and our attraction to each other. I kissed my way down his chest, then a little lower. His muscles tensed when I reached the waistband of his pajama pants. He looked at me mesmerized. When you kneel like this in front of me naked, relaxed mine, I feel like I'm going to lose my mind. I like it when you take the lead. I want you so bad, but I see you're in the mood to tease. Maybe. My hand rested on his thigh and then slid a little higher. I grazed his bulge and heard a small gasp. I liked his reaction. I wanted more. And he did too. He gently threaded his fingers through my hair, caressing me gently. He seemed curious about what I would do next. My fingers got hold of the waistband of his pants, pulling it down. Ruh-roh. Yep, it's a bit frisky. For YouTube. Just saying. We'll see how far this will go. He pulled me by my shoulders, lifted me up, and then sat me on top of him. I wrapped my legs around his body, clinging tightly, and kissed him. Pinning me against the wall, holding my hips with his hands, he laughed right into my lips. Now it's my turn to lead. Then hurry, I'll take back control. He didn't need to be told twice. He wanted me as badly as I wanted him. With one deep ruh-roh, we did the deed, we'll just go with that. As he laid down by my side, we spent several moments in silence, basking in the afterglow. Then he spoke. I can't imagine how I used to live without this. Without without sex with you. I sat up slowly, coming back to my senses.
I guess I should go. Your house is huge. It will be dawn before I reach my bedroom.
In that case, stay.
What? You can't wait to do it again?
I just don't want you to leave yet. I am wondering what it's like to hug you while you sleep.
Sometimes he says these things, and it seems like he's really serious about me. Maybe I underestimate him?
He seemed also lost in thought. Tonight, Amrit has realized that he's fallen in love with you. So what do you want to do?
Fine, I'll stay. I've never slept in a bed this big.
It doesn't matter how big the bed is. I bet you'll be pressing yourself tightly against me all night.
No, I definitely won't do that.
Amrit turned off the light, gently pulled me so I'd lie down next to him. When I did, he immediately held me closer, his voice slow, quiet, as he whispered in my ear, "Imagine this. Us going to bed together every night. I'm hugging you from behind, and you can hear me breathing. Are you sure you want to leave?" His question was left unanswered. Soon, we both fell asleep. I had no idea how furious I was going to be the following day. And then you'll just leave it on that? Just leave it right on that, don't you? Didn't gain any independence, but we gained 2 loyalty. It would have been 3, but they took away 1. 4 respect, 2 rage, 5 kindness, and I see those diamonds. But before I earn them, please remember that if you did enjoy this chapter, to like, share, and subscribe. Head down the description, plenty of things to check out there, and ways to support. Also, consider joining the Discord. But without further ado, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Catch you all later. Peace out.